For the Roberts family, acting seems to be in their blood, from Julia Roberts' Oscar-winning success to her rising star niece, Emma Roberts. Despite achieving many impressive accomplishments in her acting career, Julia Roberts was criticized by her own brother for her performance. Eric Roberts reveals he was unimpressed by Julia Roberts' performance in this 1989 movie, despite her Oscar nomination. So, what important role did Eric play in Julia's career that gave him the authority to criticize an actress who once held the record for the highest salary in history? And which film exposed the flaws in Julia's acting? The Roberts family. When it comes to the Roberts family, it's a story where stardom meets a complex web of relationships and challenges. Let's take a journey back to the early 1950s to uncover the fascinating and unique tale of the Roberts family. It all began when Betty Lou Bredemus and Walter Grady Roberts, who would later become Julia Roberts' parents. Their initial encounter developed into a deep connection sparked by their shared passion for acting. Aside from their professional partnership, love blossomed, ushering in the beginning of a splendid family legacy in the world of entertainment. Shortly after, in 1955, Betty and Walter publicly celebrated their union through marriage. From the onset, it was evident that they were deeply entrenched in the world of showbiz. Their love for the performing arts radiated through everything they did, both at work and at home. In 1967, their family welcomed a new addition, a daughter who would later transform to become the highest-paid actor globally, Julia Roberts. At first glance, the Roberts appeared to be the epitome of a happily united family, deeply immersed in their shared passion for acting and entertainment. However, as time passed, cracks began to surface in their seemingly perfect home. Despite their initial compatibility, their marriage gradually shattered under the strain of emotional turmoil. After 16 years of roller coaster emotions, Betty filed for divorce in 1971, signaling the end of an era for the family. In 1972, Julia's mother married Michael Moats, who was often mean and didn't have a steady job. This marriage ended in 1983 when Betty divorced Moats because he was cruel to her. After their mother's second divorce, the children had to start working at a young age to support themselves. At just 13 years old, Julia began working as a waitress at a pizza place while attending Griffin High School. Despite her academic pursuits, Julia was passionate about music, playing the clarinet and participating in local beauty contests. Although she faced bullying from classmates who mocked her appearance for being tall, having a large mouth, and being slender, Julia's career reached an apex in the year 2000 with Erin Brockovich. This film not only smashed box office records but also earned her critical acclaim, culminating in an Oscar win and several other prestigious awards. Her paycheck for this role, a whopping $20 million, set a new benchmark in Hollywood. Behind the scenes, Julia faced challenges due to her left-handedness, particularly when her characters were not. Yet her professionalism shone through even amidst such obstacles. Her filmography continued to boast high-profile projects like Ocean's 11, further solidifying her status as one of Hollywood's most bankable stars. Julia scored a hefty $5 million paycheck for her role in the movie. Julia prefers to keep her private life away from social media, unlike many other celebrities. The journey to shine. Contrary to popular belief, it was not Julia who first embarked on the journey to Hollywood fame. Instead, it was her brother Eric who blazed the trail. Blessed with natural charm, striking good looks, and undeniable talent, he garnered critical acclaim, earning a Golden Globe nomination for his role in King of the Gypsies. Eric appeared destined for superstardom, but fate had other plans. Eric played a pivotal role in Julia's acting journey. And he was also the one who gave a straightforward opinion about Julia's acting, saying that he didn't like her performance in one of the works. We will go into more detail about this story later in the video. In New York, Julia signed with a modeling agency, attended acting classes, and worked on her Southern accent. Frustrated with the lack of progress in her acting classes, Julia shifted her focus to auditions. Upon joining the Actors Guild of the USA, she had to change her birth name from Julie to Julia because another actress had a similar name. Her journey led her to Hollywood, where she hoped to follow in her brother's footsteps. However, her early attempts at stardom were met with disappointment, landing only minor roles in TV shows and movies. Despite the setback, Julia continued to hone her craft, attending dance classes and learning to play various instruments. After her debut on television in the show Crime Story, where she portrayed a young victim of a crime, Julia took her first steps onto the big screen in the movie Satisfaction. In this film, she played a member of a band searching for gigs during the summer. Even before this, she had a brief appearance in a movie called Blood Red alongside her brother, but it didn't hit theaters until later. With relentless effort, Julia achieved many impressive accomplishments in her acting career. However, her brother was still not entirely satisfied with his sister's performance. Eric Roberts shares his thoughts on his sister Julia Roberts' performance in the 1989 drama Steel Magnolias, in his book Runaway Train, or The Story of My Life So Far. In the movie Steel Magnolias from 1989, which is based on a play by Robert Harling, Julia plays a young bride who has diabetes. When it came to casting, the filmmakers were considering Laura Dern and Winona Ryder. However, the casting director insisted on seeing Julia. Harling, the playwright, described the moment Julia walked in, saying her smile lit up the room, and he immediately thought of her as his sister for the film. Steel Magnolias was a big hit with critics and audiences alike when it hit theaters. Julia even received her first Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actress and won her first Golden Globe Award for Best Supporting Actress in a Motion Picture for her outstanding performance. In spite of the success of this movie, Eric still felt unsatisfied with his sister, Julia. In his eagerly awaited memoir, Runaway Train, or The Story of My Life So Far, he offers his perspective on his sister Julia Roberts' role in the classic 1989 film Steel Magnolias, and explains his reasons for not being a fan of it. Eric Roberts expressed that while Julia Roberts was good in Mystic Pizza and great in Pretty Woman, he didn't feel she was as impressive in Steel Magnolias despite the film earning her first Academy Award nomination. The actor further wrote, "I don't want to sound like an actor talking or a jealous sibling, but I don't think her performance held up in that movie. When I saw her in Steel Magnolias, I thought, okay, good. She's almost a good actor, and one day she's going to be one." He further mentioned that he felt all the talented women in the movie, including Sally Field, Dolly Parton, Olympia Dukakis, Shirley MacLaine, and Daryl Hannah, overacted in the film. He remarked that nobody truly stood out in that film, as they all chewed a lot of scenery, noting that crying on film often elevates an actor's status, leading to Oscar nominations. The actor explained that he thinks his sister received favorable reviews for her performance due to her genuine Southern background, which suited her role as a character from Louisiana. He pointed out that her authenticity as a charming, small-town Southern girl probably played a role in her Oscar nomination for late director Herbert Ross's movie.